Join us on an exciting journey to master the English language from the comfort of your home. Our channel offers a variety of engaging content designed for learners of all levels, from beginners to advanced speakers. Explore interactive lessons, helpful tips, and real-life conversation practice through videos, quizzes, and more. Whether you're looking to improve your speaking, writing, or listening skills, we provide the tools and support you need to succeed. Connect with a global community of fellow learners, share your experiences, and celebrate your progress together. Let's unlock the world of English together and open new doors to opportunities. Subscribe now and start your learning adventure.
The Stranger at the Cafe. In a quiet corner of the city, there was a small cafe hidden from the rush of everyday life. It wasn't a place that attracted much attention, but those who wandered inside always stayed longer than they expected. The air inside was warm, the scent of freshly brewed coffee lingering, and the atmosphere was peaceful. As if time slowed down once you stepped through the door, Mia, a woman in her mid-30s, was a regular visitor. She came here every evening after work, always choosing the same table by the window. She enjoyed watching people pass by, their faces reflecting their busy lives while she sipped her coffee in silence. Mia didn't mind being alone. In fact, she preferred it. Solitude had become a familiar companion. One evening, as Mia sat by her window, a stranger entered the cafe. He was a tall man, with a calm yet mysterious air about him. His clothes were simple, yet there was something striking in his presence. Without looking around, he walked straight to the counter, ordered a coffee, and then, much to Mia's surprise, he chose the seat directly across from her.
"You seem like someone who enjoys quiet places," the man said, his voice low but clear. Mia hesitated before answering. "I do. This cafe feels different, peaceful." He nodded, taking a slow sip of his coffee. "I can see that. Sometimes we find peace in the most unexpected places." There was a pause. Mia wasn't sure if she wanted to continue the conversation, but there was a warmth in his tone that made her feel at ease. "What about you?" Mia asked, surprising herself. "Do you come here often?" The man smiled slightly. "No, this is my first time here. But I was drawn to it, as if something was telling me to stop and rest." Mia couldn't help but feel there was more to his words. "What do you mean?" He leaned back in his chair, eyes soft but thoughtful. "Sometimes, when we're searching for something, whether we know it or not, life brings us to certain places or people. It's like the universe has a way of guiding us, if we're open to it." Mia found herself thinking about his words long after he had spoken them. She had always believed in routine, in controlling her life, yet she couldn't deny the strange sense of calm that settled over her when she was here, in this cafe, speaking to this stranger. "So," she said, her voice quiet now, "do you believe we're all searching for something?" The man's gaze grew distant for a moment, as if he were searching for an answer himself. "I think we are. Some of us search for purpose, others for love, or maybe even for a sense of belonging. But whatever it is, I believe the search never really ends. It just changes." Mia nodded, the weight of his words settling into her thoughts. She had been searching, too, though she didn't realize it until now. Searching for meaning, for something more than the everyday cycle of work, coffee, and solitude. As the evening deepened, the stranger stood up to leave. He placed a few coins on the table, and with a soft smile, he said, "Perhaps we'll meet again, in another place, another time. Until then, keep searching." And with that, he left the cafe, disappearing into the quiet streets beyond. Mia watched him go, feeling both a sense of loss and a strange hope. The cafe seemed quieter now, but the words he had spoken lingered in the air. Mia sat there for a long time, gazing out the window, thinking about the stranger and the unexpected conversation they had shared. She realized that maybe, just maybe, she was ready to stop watching life pass by and begin searching for what truly mattered to her. The next day, Mia returned to the cafe, as she always did. But this time, as she sipped her coffee and watched the world outside, she felt something new inside her, a sense of curiosity, of wonder. And for the first time in a long time, she smiled, ready for whatever the world would bring her next.
The Enchanted Forest and the Talking River. Once, in a faraway land, there was a magical forest known only to a few. This forest was no ordinary place. Every tree, every flower, every tree, every flower, every animal had a voice. And deep within the forest flowed the Talking River, a river that could tell stories and reveal secrets. One sunny morning, a young woman named Ilara ventured into the forest. She had heard whispers about the Talking River and wanted to see it for herself. As she walked, the whispering wind greeted her, brushing through her hair. "Welcome, Ilara," the wind whispered. "Why have you come to the Enchanted Forest?" Ilara spoke softly. "I've come to find the Talking River. I wish to hear its stories." The trees, tall and towering, rustled their leaves. "The river is deep in the forest," they murmured. "Follow the path of the shining stones." Ilara nodded, her footsteps light and swift on the path of glittering stones. She passed by, singing birds, their songs sweet and clear. She walked past blooming flowers, their petals bright and bold. Finally, she reached the river. The water was crystal clear, and it sparkled in the sunlight. The river began to speak, its voice soft but steady. "Ilara, traveler of the land, what story do you seek?" Ilara knelt by the riverbank, her reflection shimmering in the water. "I seek the story of the stars," she said. "Why do they shine so brightly?" The river's voice became deeper, as if the very earth was speaking deeper, as if the very earth was speaking. Long ago, it began. The stars were not in the sky. They were hidden gems, buried in the heart of the earth. But one night, the queen of the night danced across the sky, her movements so graceful that they shook the ground. Ilara listened closely, her eyes wide with wonder. The gems were lifted from the earth, and they flew into the sky, scattering across the heavens. They shone so brightly that they lit up the entire night. And ever since that night, the stars have twinkled, telling their own silent stories to anyone who will listen. Ilara smiled, her heart full of magic and light. "Thank you, wise river," she whispered. "Your story is beautiful." Before she could leave, the river spoke again. "Remember, Ilara, the stars above are the dreams of those who look up. Always dream, and you too will shine." With that, Ilara rose to her feet, feeling lighter than air, her heart full of dreams. She made her way back through the enchanted forest, listening to the voices of the trees, the songs of the birds, and the whisper of the wind. The end.